All right, I'm going to rip through the list for Monday. Quick reminder, the market's closed Friday, so we got a shortened trading week, so volume might be light the farther into the week we go. But all right, Sears Holdings, SHLD, had this big volume pop back here and kind of squeezed but gave some of it back, and then you kind of have a big cup and handle forming. So a couple prices to look at for a potential long. 42.60 would be a break of Friday's high, and then you would look for that to push it through 42.82, which would be the high of this kind of little handle or flag, whatever you want to call this. So there's a couple possible catalysts. Remember, I'm a day trader, so I'm just looking for stuff that might give me a trade on Monday. Real quick comment, I was watching Vegas Traders Ticker TV. He was scrolling through some charts today. Great stuff. So if you get a chance, check out Vegas Trader. Totally different than me because he is looking for swing trades. And so it's a different mindset. I don't hold overnight, but he's very, very good at reading charts. So check him out. Very, very good stuff. BCLI, there's a lower volume, lower price stock, but you can see over this area, had this huge gap up here, came back down, tons of support now below, right? You have tons of support here and then newer support here. So BCLI is interesting over like 462-ish. Like to see some volume if it moves at all. FIVE, a lot of times you get a gap up and they go into a range for several days. But I want to have this on watch for a potential afternoon breakout on Monday just in case. All right, so it doesn't cost me anything to have it on a chart. Lumber liquidators, I got to have it on a chart again. You had the big volume day, couple lower highs. Phone call, not good. Hold on. All right, so just as an example, I was looking at LL for a potential breakout Friday afternoon. It hit like almost 31 here, and then was flagging, and so I was going to call this long if it got into the 30.90s, thinking that would rip it through, and look what it did. It just never. Actually, it was after this. This high was 30.88, so I wanted to see about 30.92. I think we could have got in early for a squeeze, and instead it just went lower. So it was easy, no trade. But there's an example of something I would look at in a stock like LL, because when it does move, it moves really well. Weight Watchers, nothing pretty here, but it did bounce. We did catch a bounce in this one on Thursday, and then Friday put in kind of a quiet day. So if you zoom in a little bit, I have a couple catalysts on Weight Watchers. 752 would be a break of Friday's high, and that might take you right through Thursday's high, which would be 759, and then maybe a move to 8. So this is worth watching, even though you glance at the daily. And this is an example. This is something that Vegas Trader would have looked at and called me an idiot for even stalking this. But I'm a day trader, so this is a possible setup for a bounce on. Now he's a nice guy. He's not like I'm just making a point. The difference. A lot of swing traders wouldn't even glance at a chart like this. Whereas I am very happy to look at them for possible trades. JMEI, very nice breakout, had a big 2-day or 3-day run there, and now you're 3 days lower, so that's and back down to the 8 days. So I do like that one for a potential upside move, only with a proper intraday setup. On Monday, GES, after the gap up, I said this before, a lot of times stocks go into a range, and it's done that. And now it's coming back down near the bottom of the range. The bottom of the range really is about $18. So if we get a sell-off down to there, I'll be looking for an intraday trade around there. I think GES is worth having on watch. SanDisk, again, swing traders would look at this and say, why are you looking at this? I think this is oversold and could give a very nice bounce. And with the right setup, we could get this could be the only trade we need on Monday if it gives me the right setup. If it doesn't, just like I showed you in Lumber Liquidators, I simply won't take a trade. But that is so oversold. I think it's a great candidate for a really quick bounce. SONC kind of held support. It came back down, had that big flush. Was it's been on bounce watch for a couple days. If you noticed on Thursday, it never broke its 15-minute high, and with the exception of a minute or two, really didn't break. And when I say 15, it really should be 30-minute. I look for a break of its early high, preferably in the afternoon, when I'm stalking a bounce play. Okay, I like the way this is holding 32 support. A couple little bottoming tails there. So I want to look, for this, maybe a sideways move and then an afternoon high of day break. I bet we could get a nice pop in SONC. I think it's overdone. I think it's gonna. Oh, we'll see. But I think it's really trying to hold support there. So the next move could be up. Monday might be too soon, and if it doesn't give us a trigger, we won't trade it. RADA, I'm just going to put on bounce watch again. It's 4 days down in a row now. We did not get an afternoon break on RADA. I had it on bounce watch for Friday, and it was just straight out of the gate up. So you notice it put in its high early in the morning. I don't play bounce plays first thing in the morning. I want to see a sideways move and an afternoon break, if possible. There are a couple other ways I'll play them, but RADA really didn't meet that. It held this low that I talked about a couple sessions ago, and it's sneaking back up. It might make a move back up to 34. So if I see any kind of intraday long setup and the market's holding up okay, I'll look to possibly trade W to the long side on Monday. And then this YOD, which is a squinky, lower price, lower volume stock, but it makes big moves at times. This was a nasty reversal here, but now it's put in some support below. You had this spike up to 260, came back down, and now it's starting to head back up. So, if this gets through to 250-ish on Monday with any volume, it might be worth it. It's already up 2 days in a row. Somebody mentioned that in the I don't know if you call it webinar or in the broadcast I was watching earlier. And so I thought, I'm going to look at that chart. So it's kind of interesting, especially if it can get up over 260 with volume sometime next week. But I absolutely don't love this one. And that rounds off my list. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see everybody on Monday.